everyone. This is your girl Lala here. So tonight I'm going to be giving the recap for Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 1. This episode did premiere this past Friday on January the 28th. It's on the OWN network. And once again, this is the premiere of the 5th season for Ready to Love. In past seasons, the producers had about 20 participants. This season, they did change it a bit, and they've decided to hone in on 14 participants. So the focus this season is on quality versus quantity. So now let's get into the cast. I don't know how many of you have already watched. If you haven't or if you had, let's go through the cast pretty quickly. So there are the ladies for this season are Precious, Sabrina, Ace, Tiffany, Keena, Dakia, and Joy. And the men are Wiley, Fernando, Tony, Demetrius, Clifton, Laverne, and Paul. Now, I'm going to say off the bat that out of the men, Clifton and Laverne are my top two favorites. And for the women, it is Joy and Sabrina. Now, of course, it's very early to even come to that conclusion or, to even say that because, of course, it's only been the first episode. And as we know with all of these shows, we can start out loving someone that we later hate. So who knows where that's going to go with my favorites. But as of right now, and you know what? I really shouldn't say favorites. More like who I'm initially feeling, I should say. Okay, so we'll just say that. So I'm going to start with the women about who I'm initially feeling. Joy, I think she's just very pretty. I think Joy's pretty. I think Joy has a certain little spunk. I think she's coming off as pretty, authentic and, and everything. And I'm liking Joy right now. Sabrina, I think is just she has that very feminine girl next door, very sweet personality about her that I'm seeing through the television. So I think Sabrina is going to be a lot of the men's top pick. Just because she has that femininity and she has that girliness about her and things like that. She has a lot of qualities that I think that men gravitate to and really like in women. So I do see Sabrina, kind of racking up the men that are going to be interested in her. And even in the episode, I believe it was about 3 men who already did mention her name as being their interest so far. So I definitely think that she's going to be one of the, top, contestants, I guess, in this season. For the men, I am really liking Clifton and Laverne, as I stated. Clifton is just that, he's 6'4", he is, a bigger guy. He's just like that teddy bear. I think he's very handsome. And he seems to have a very down to earth and nice personality. He seems to, so far, it appears that he has like some depth to him in regards to just being handsome and also, holding a conversation and just kind of like having other layers. And, to me, that's extremely attractive. Laverne, I think, is very attractive as well. I did find Laverne to be very attractive. I did also find Laverne to be a little, I don't want to just, make that assumption so early, but in that episode, Laverne did kind of rub me as a more cocky type of guy. At one point he kind of sat in the chair the entire time, and it was like he had women that were like coming over to him. That was a little like, for me, because I don't know. I think it kind of shows you going forward how his interactions with women are going to be, or, a little bit about his personality, because he didn't seem like he was too into getting up and making the initiative to go and, talk to women and meet women. It seemed like it was more like, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to let them come and flock to me. So that's a little bit of a, to me personally. I personally prefer men that are more of a seeker type. And because otherwise to me, it kind of just shows like a little bit of a, a little bit of that, a man that wants to be chased. And that's just, in my opinion, doesn't work like that. But anyway, moving on. It was funny though when Keena came and sat by Laverne when he was talking to the girl about like different destinations that, they would think about relocating to, but it was like island destinations. And she comes over, she has a seat and everything. And then she started mentioning, I think she said like Texas, and then she says like another state. And they're like, well, we were kind of thinking more like out of the country, island or whatever. And she's just like, pretty much like, oh, but I think she just sat there because she wanted a seat. I don't think she was sitting there because she really wanted to have a conversation with them. Keena didn't seem like she was interested at all in like really being there. In the beginning of the show, I know she sat with Wiley, I believe it was. And, she was having a little bit of a conversation with Wiley. And she got pretty, I guess, turned off pretty quickly when I believe Wiley said he was about 32. And so, she kind of like, I think called him a baby or something like that, or, something in reference to his age being, a lot younger than she cared for. And, so she kind of like excused herself. And then she went and, she started mingling amongst other people. But even then it was like, she just didn't seem to have too much interest, which makes sense because she actually ended up being the one that went home on the first episode. Made total sense. I knew that she would be the one to end up going home. All of the men, said her name as like the least interested. And then also just on the episode itself, she just didn't have, didn't seem like she was that interested in anyone, in being there or anything. So, that did make perfect sense with her being the one to go home. Now, another one that was a little interesting for the men was Paul, who had decided to call himself P.O., and I mean, I was like cracking up because they were like, P.O., was it parole officer, post office and things like that. Paul was just a little weird to me. I must say, I was not feeling Paul at all. He was coming off, very weird to me, and just, I don't know. It's just coming off very weird to me. Which also leads me to Fernando, which Fernando had gotten sent home, but I'm kind of iffy if I feel like Paul really should have been the one to go over Fernando, because I don't know. I like I said, Paul came off so weird to me, and I don't really think that Fernando came off as weird or, was kind of worse than Paul. I don't know. But I guess the thing is that I guess Paul, I must say, was a little more attractive than Fernando. So I don't know. Maybe that gave him the sliding scale, and that's what kept Paul there. But we'll see. I definitely believe that Paul is going to be one of the characters for the male on this show. I believe that Paul is going to keep us entertained throughout this season. Absolutely. I definitely think Paul is going to keep us entertained throughout this season, which is probably another reason why why he was kept anyway, for the entertainment factor. So I'm here for it. And those are the ones who really kind of like stuck out. Wiley and what was it? I guess it was, Wiley. So Wiley, he was the younger one. Actually, yes, Wiley's 32. He is 32. So Wiley was the younger one. And I don't know. I don't have anything either way to really say about Wiley. I guess we just have to wait and see, more to come from him. Now getting into some of the ladies, I thought that, I already mentioned that I thought that so now on to the ladies. So Precious, I didn't know what to really think or feel about Precious so far. She is giving me a lot. She is giving me a vibe of a lot. I definitely think that she is going to be one of the bigger personalities on the show. I think I do see that in the beginning. So as with some of the other guests, we have to wait and see how their personalities unfold throughout the season. But I am getting just very extra and very much from Precious. I guess if I had to compare her to someone in a recent Ready to Love season, it would kind of probably be like Camille, is where she's putting me in the mindset of, not totally in her actions and her vibe so far, but just like in a little bit of the extraness category. I'm kind of thinking that Precious is in that realm. So, but once again, we will see as the show unfolds more and more, and we see their personalities and we just see different interactions and get to kind of make a better assessment of each of the characters. Another one was Tiffany, who landed in the bottom last night. Her and Keena landed in the bottom last night, but Keena was the one who went home. I was a little surprised that Tiffany was in the bottom with her. I knew Keena, like I said earlier, I knew Keena would be there, but I was a little surprised. I felt that Tiffany, was a, I kind of, like Tiffany, I guess, or, she didn't strike me as like an immediate first day, like in the bottom. I didn't think. If anything, I felt like Precious was a bit, I don't know. I thought she was a bit like too much, and maybe I could have seen her there. But as we know, those are the personalities that make for good entertainment. So a lot of times they are going to stay to the end because we need to be entertained, right? That's what we're watching for, because we want to be entertained. So we are expecting for them to deliver. And when they deliver, they have to stay. So I'm sure that Precious will be around for a while. But guys, let me know your thoughts. So please comment below and let me know your thoughts on the, how the season is looking so far, on who you guys think, who you guys think are going to be some of the favorites, are going to stay to the end, or some of the connections. I know it's very early, so it's so hard at this moment to really tell like where things are going to go, but it's kind of fun because you get to kind of make your first assumption, and then you get to look back at the whole season and see if you were right, to see if your assumptions actually were on point or not. So that's the fun in kind of like making these assumptions in the beginning and everything else. But once again, guys, let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified anytime I drop a new video. And guys, until next time, toodles!